Connor here from Gear Reviews, bringing you another video. I just wanted to take a quick look at the essential things I bring on my ski trips, as it is that time of year. Winter's coming around and the holiday season is upon us, so a lot of people are going to be going on ski and snowboard trips. I thought a good idea would be to run through what I bring and know to bring every time, just because everyone forgets things when they go on trips. But if you kind of have that bare essentials already prepped or set up, then you're good to go. And then if you forget something else, it's not as big of a deal. So we'll just run through the quick gear that I pack away when I go on my trip, so that I'm ready for whatever, you know, the ski hill has to throw at me, or you know, the trip itself has to throw at me. I have my North Face base camp duffel here to put it all in, as a lot of the time winter clothing and winter gear is very bulky. So I find I just throw it all in there, zip it up, put it in the car, and I'm good to go. I don't really have to worry about it. So yeah, let's take a quick look, and you guys can let me know down below what you think of the list and if there's anything I might have missed. So let's get right to it. Alright, so one of the biggest components I think for any trip is the luggage. For luggage for ski trips, I don't really recommend rolling suitcases, as there's snow everywhere and it doesn't really mix well. For me, I use a North Face base camp duffel. This is the large size, as my girlfriend and I kind of put all of our stuff in here. It's super simple. We throw it all in there, we zip it up. We don't really have to worry if there's enough space, as it's absolutely massive. If I just kind of show you here, it's a huge bag. It's around 100 liters, I think, and it does everything that I could ask for it for a ski trip. Also a big plus about using a bag like this, because Patagonia has some like this too, the black hole duffels. If you use a duffel like this or any kind of bag, if it goes in the snow, it's not the end of the world. It's not gonna, you know, have the zippers get all messed up, because it's made for that kind of stuff. Also, it's water repellent, right? As we've seen before, this material is really durable and really water resistant. So you're not gonna have to worry if you know, you toss it down in a snowbank. Everything in there should be fine. That's step one in packing for a trip. Let's take a look at some of the gear that we need to bring and some of the clothing. Alright, so probably one of the first things you want to make sure you have is thermal wear. So this is a thermal wear long sleeve heat tech shirt from Uniqlo. Uniqlo has a lot of really affordable clothes to wear, and actually really good quality. For me, I have this, I have Nike shirts, I have North Face shirts. They're all really comfortable, and it really doesn't matter. It's just a personal preference for what kind of thermal wear you're using. As long as it's warm, you're going to be good. And it depends on how warm you want to be. If you like to be nice and toasty, you might want to wear, you know, like a long sleeve, and then also a sweater on top of it. So definitely can't forget your thermal wear. As for the pants, as you may have seen in my snow pant video for the North Face Free Thinker bib snow pants, they're not insulated. So for me, I have very thick insulated thermal pants, so that you know, I stay nice and warm in my legs and I don't get frozen. So thermal wear is a big thing that you need to make sure you have. I would say you want to make sure you have some neck warmer type things or neck tubes. You just put it over your head. It acts kind of like a balaclava. It gives a bit more variability and options when using it, because you can wear it differently. And then I also have another one. I would say that for all kinds of thermal wear or balaclavas or neck warmers, you want more than one. For me, I usually bring 2 to 3. Sticking with that kind of trend of things, make sure you have a hat. You definitely want at least one hat when you go. Keep your ears nice and warm under your helmet. And just overall, even if you're out walking, you're gonna need a hat on. So as I mentioned, balaclavas, they're super useful. I find the thing with the thermal wear, especially around your face, you want to just layer up. You're gonna stay nice and toasty warm. So overall, definitely, you want to make sure you have all that thermal gear in there. All right, so the next really main thing that you'll need is mittens or gloves. For me, I really like mittens. As you may have seen in my video from last year, mittens, they keep your fingers all in one place. So it means that your hand stays warmer because it's all together. Also, It's just easier when you're out there. You don't need necessarily dexterity to grab onto multiple things like that. If you have a pole for skiing, it just wraps around it. All right, so continuing on with kind of the theme of keeping your body warm is socks. You definitely want to get some nice wool or cotton socks to wear. A lot of the really popular ones are that merino wool or that cotton blend that you can get from places. Even double layering on socks works really well, I find. So you want to make sure you have really nice socks, because cold toes really are not fun to have when you're going down the ski hill, just like cold fingers aren't. It's the first place that get cold, and it definitely doesn't feel nice. So big pair of socks is definitely something you want to make sure you have. All right, so next up is what you're gonna wear on top of all of that warm clothing that I just talked about. So first off, you're gonna need a really good pair of snow pants. My recommendation is to get something that's got some kind of water resistance or waterproofing to it. It's just going to allow you to stay really dry, use it throughout all the time, not have to dry your pants in between, anything like that. So that's an important part, obviously, because you can't really go skiing or snowboarding or hiking, snowshoeing, any of those kind of winter activities without a good pair of snow pants on. Also, obviously, you're going to want a winter jacket. Some people use two different jackets, so you could pack one of your jackets in your bag, and then that could be your ski jacket, and then you just wear your normal jacket. Really, as long as you've got your winter jacket on you when you leave the house, you should be good. Or if you have a special ski jacket you wear, make sure you pack that away, because the jacket is obviously really important, just like the snow pants are. Another big important part is kind of, an obvious one, just like the winter jacket, is a good pair of snow boots. So when you're walking around whatever ski hill in their little village area or something, you're going to want to make sure you have a nice pair of boots, as they're probably going to have a lot of snow, and you're going to want to keep your feet warm and dry wherever you are. So whichever ones you prefer. I know Sorels are really popular, Blundstones, anything like that. Whatever boot you normally wear, just make sure you bring those as well. All right, so we've kind of covered all the clothing stuff and the outerwear, the staples of the staples or necessities that you need for a ski trip. So we'll kind of get to more of the equipment related things or small accessories, things like that. So a big important part is that you have your ski equipment or snowboard equipment. So you need your ski boots or your snowboard boots, any binding stuff, any ski poles, skis, snowboard, all of that stuff. Make sure you have it. That's not going to fit in the bag. Obviously, that they're usually quite large, but make sure those are in your car, because you can't really go on a ski or snowboard trip without a ski or a snowboard. So you want to make sure you have your goggles. So a lot of them come in these nice little bags, at least the Oakley ones do. And then probably bring a spare lens for nighttime and daytime. Just makes it really simple for when you're out there, you get better visibility. Then sort of right with that, make sure you have a nice helmet to wear that fits properly. And again, make sure it has that goggle integration so that you can snap it in there and don't have to worry about them flying off when you're going down the hill or something. Keeping with that theme of, the goggles and helmet, I always bring a microfiber cloth. I find it's just really easy. You can sometimes stuff it in a pocket or in your backpack. Really handy, especially if they are spraying snow on the hill. That way you can wipe it off your goggles or any of your stuff. All right, moving right along with sort of the equipment related things is I would recommend having a ski or snowboard lock. They're super simple. They're not really that expensive. I think like $10 maybe. It's really simple kind of lock mechanism. It just goes in the racks that you have at the ski hills, at the bases, so you can go into restaurants and not have to worry about someone taking your skis or your snowboard. It does work for both. It says ski key. It is 100% able to be used on a snowboard in the racks at the bottom of the hill. You slide the bar across it, you lock it, take your key out, you're good to go. They're super helpful. It gives you that peace of mind so that no one's taking your stuff. So another important thing to have is sort of like a trail map or like an info book from the ski hill you're at. So this is just one that I have laying around. Make sure you have it. It's really handy to have one of these, depending on if you're meeting up with friends somewhere. The maps make it super simple and super easy to find where you are, depending on what trail you're on, things like that. And it can be really easy to get, turned around when you're out on a ski hill. So make sure you have some kind of a trail map. They're just gonna make your life that much easier. All right, so one of the last things I'd recommend to bring, I only use them when it's probably below -30, and that would be hand warmers. Bring them just in case it does get really cold. For me, I have them. I don't usually use them. This box isn't even opened. You can see the plastic still around it. They're just something to have. It's kind of precautionary. You never know when it's going to get really cold when you're out there, and if you're doing night skiing, it does tend to drop a lot when you're doing that, especially with that wind that's... All right, and one of the last things I'd recommend is just bring a bag to put stuff in when you go out on your runs and going on the slopes and everything. It just makes it simpler. You can put water in it if you want. You can put your microfiber, any hand warmers, some snacks or something, so you're not buying overpriced chalet food. This is a Black Diamond Magnum pack. It's pretty small. It's exactly kind of what you want when you're going out on a hill or hikes, things like that. All right, so that's sort of, everything that I would bring on a ski trip. I know it seems like a lot. It's not really packed properly. I don't usually keep a helmet in a bag. I kind of just drape it around. But those have been about the 10 to 15 core things I would bring on my trip. I think a lot of them, there's some things you can trade in and out. The hand warmers aren't always necessary. The backpack necessarily isn't either. If you're going on a smaller hill, you don't necessarily need to bring a bunch of things. But just having that essential list, just like when you go, to the cottage or to the beach, anything like that, it's just important to know what the staples are for that kind of trip. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, this sort of prep list and adventure list of gear to bring on a ski or snowboard trip. And I hope you all enjoy the holiday season and get out and hit those slopes and use some of that awesome gear out there. See you guys later. Bye-bye.